When I first got involved in my own practice as a PI, I met a lot of older PIs, and I very quickly realized that a lot of the PIs that are out there are retired law enforcement or retired agents of some law enforcement agency or government or whatnot. I think we've all got our stories. It's just amazing what people get themselves into. A recent case that my firm had handled was a case that involved an Atlanta businessman that we'll refer to as Bob. Bob explained and described a story to me in which he had gone to a local bar in Atlanta. Being there for a few hours, he had proceeded to have several drinks and was shown a lot of cash, and it seemed pretty obvious to everybody around him that he had some money behind him. He was approached by a young woman who was very aggressive, and Bob was one of the older guys in the establishment. He liked the attention from this woman. We'll refer to this woman as Nan.
Where do you want to go?
Let's go.
They spent some time together, and she seemed very aggressive to get him back to her hotel room. And they did go back to her hotel room that night, and they did have sexual relations. And then Nan was gone. A few days later, Bob had received a phone call from a man who identified himself as Nan's husband. And Nan's husband explained how Bob had interfered with their marital relations and that Bob was the cause of him having a bad marriage and that Bob should be held responsible, or he would end up in court in some kind of litigious situation. We were brought in to find out what was the story behind Nan and her husband. We started out by doing surveillance of Nan's marital residence. And in doing so, we were able to find enough evidence that Nan and her husband were no longer living together. And not only were they not living together then, but they hadn't lived together in some time. In talking to people that knew Nan, we were able to find out that this isn't the first time that Nan and her husband had worked out, I'll call it a scheme, to get money and to avoid litigation by getting paid off. This time I'm happy to say that once we had our evidence and once we confronted Nan and her husband, that they backed off. So this time it just didn't work.
For more information, please visit our website at selectondemand.com or email us at programs@selectondemand.com. Made for On Demand.